Hello there you guys, welcome to one of my videos. Going to be giving you my match reaction for the Leeds Manchester United game. So it ended Leeds 0, Manchester United 0 at Ellen Road. It was a very poor game, and I thought it was an abysmal performance by Manchester United. It's 7 0-0 draws now for Manchester United this season. Marcus Rashford, he had a couple of chances in the game. One was from a free kick. Mason Greenwood also had a chance. And Bruno Fernandes had a chance that went wide. Leeds had some chances of their own. Their best chance was from Helder Costa when it hit the roofing of the net. Luke Ayling also had a long-range effort. It was a straightforward save from Dean Henderson. There was talks that Leeds should have had a penalty in the game because there was a handball by Luke Shaw. Paul Scholes reckons that Leeds should have had a penalty in the first half. Paul Scholes has also come out and said that he's surprised that Edinson Cavani and Paul Pogba didn't start. Defensively, Leeds were very good. The game was totally different to the game at Old Trafford earlier on in the season. From a Leeds perspective, they'll be very delighted with the draw, but from our perspective, we'll be disappointed because we was expected to beat Leeds. But Leeds have done quite well against the big teams this season. You know, they've drew 0-0 with us today. You know, they beat Man City 2-1 not so long ago. They drew with Man City at Ellen Road 1-1. You know, they drew with Arsenal. They drew with Chelsea. You know, they beat Leicester away from home. You know, they drew with Liverpool. So, there you go. Now, Wan-Bissaka, I thought he enjoyed a pretty good game today. I thought he got forward quite well, got in some decent positions, and defensively, he was quite good. Victor Lindelof, I thought he enjoyed a pretty good game. I thought he dealt well with Patrick Bamford. Harry Maguire, I thought he was poor today. His passing was wayward and he looked poor on and off the ball. Luke Shaw, I thought he enjoyed a good game today. Not his best performance, but still put a pretty good performance out. You know, Luke Shaw got forward quite well, provided width and defensively. What? Alright. Defensively, he was quite good. You know, Luke Shaw's enjoyed a good career at Man United despite his injuries. Fred, I thought he was quite poor today. Sloppy on the ball, didn't really get forward enough, and didn't read the game well. McTominay, I don't think he enjoyed the best of games either. Marcus Rashford, he showed some nice moves and skills at times and he had a couple of chances, but he weren't brilliant, was he? Let's be honest. Bruno Fernandes, I thought he was quite wasteful and I thought his decision making at times was quite poor. Mason Greenwood, I don't think he was brilliant today. Obviously, we brought substitutions on in the game. We saw Edinson Cavani come on. We saw Donny van de Beek come on. And we also saw Paul Pogba come on. Obviously, we saw Daniel James starting today. I don't think he was that good either. He did make some good runs at times. We are unbeaten in our last 24 Premier League away games now. We beat Leeds earlier on this season 6-2 at Old Trafford, and that's been one of our best performances of the season. You know, we've beaten Leeds 4-0 in pre-season in the summer of 2019. And we're beating them 3-0 at Ellen Road in the League Cup back in 2011. The last time Leeds beat us was in the FA Cup third round back in January 2010. It was a goal from Jermaine Beckford. But Leeds have enjoyed a very good season to their standards. You know, this has been Leeds' first season in the Premier League since 2004. Because obviously Leeds got relegated in 2004 and they was out of the top flight for 16 years. But last season they won the championship. It was their first trophy in 28 years. Obviously today there was missing a few players. Obviously there was no Rodrigo because he's out with injury. There was no Rafinha, he's out with injury. Adam Forshaw's injured, but he doesn't really get in Leeds' team. And obviously Liam Cooper was suspended because he got sent off in Leeds' 2-1 win against Man City. I wasn't expecting this game today to be 0-0. I was expecting goals and entertainment. I really was. Marcelo Bielsa, like I said on my preview, you know, he's a good manager. You know, he's got a good pedigree behind him. He used to manage in Argentina. Obviously, a lot of years ago, he worked with Pep Guardiola. Obviously, Pep Guardiola is following Marcelo Bielsa's philosophy at Man City because Bielsa taught Pep Guardiola. Bielsa's current contract expires in the summer with Leeds. It looks very imminent that he's not going to be signing a new contract. I can assure Manchester United will finish in the top 4 in the Premier League this season. We'll probably finish second. Man City are now 2 wins away, I think, from winning the Premier League. We are 10 points behind them. Solskjaer said earlier on this season, though, we will never ever give up on the Premier League title. We haven't won the Premier League since 2013, so that's 8 years ago now. We are unbeaten, though, in our last 6 games. It wasn't a good performance today by Man United. I was expecting a much better performance by us. But it wasn't a good performance against Burnley, was it? Let's be honest. But we still got the win. You know, we've had a lot of poor games this season. Now, our next game is against Roma in the Europa League semi-final first leg. Now, that is a massive game for Manchester United. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer knows how imperative it is to get his first trophy on the board as Man United manager. Because, you know, we haven't won a trophy since 2017, and that's nowhere near good enough to our standards. Solskjaer not so long ago spoke about Manchester United facing Roma in the Europa League semi-final. He did say Edin Dzeko will pose the biggest threat to Manchester United. It's our 5th semi-final in total under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. If we fail to win the Europa League this season, we know that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is not going to be sacked. That has already been made clear. But I've already said that Solskjaer does deserve at least another season at Manchester United because progress has been made. Now, obviously, our next league game is Liverpool at Old Trafford. And to be honest with you, I'm expecting us to win that game because Liverpool have been very, very poor this season. By the way, on my next video, I will be giving you my player ratings from this game against Leeds. Earlier on today, I give you the news, didn't I, regarding the Glazers. I said to you, will the Glazers leave Manchester United? Recently, Manchester United fans protested against the Glazers outside Old Trafford, and our fans burnt the American flag. Not so long ago, our fans were protesting against the Glazers outside Carrington. And he said our fans had blocked entrances into the Carrington training ground. And there was obviously banners saying 51%, MUFC 20 and Glazers out. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer insists that the Glazer family will not sell Manchester United. The Red Knights have recently told the Glazers to sell the club. The Glazers want £4 billion to sell Manchester United. Solskjaer not so long ago told protesters that Joe Glazer loves the club. The Glazers not so long ago said sorry. Joe Glazer released a statement and he apologised to Manchester United fans over the European Super League plans. The Glazers have been at Manchester United 16 years. So they've been with us since 2005. And I hate the way the club has been run for a long time now. So it would be the right decision by Manchester United to get the Glazers out because we need new owners in. Obviously, you know the news regarding Ed Woodward. Ed Woodward will get to choose Manchester United's next chief executive before he leaves. Now, it got announced earlier on this week that Woodward resigned as Manchester United vice chairman. And it said he will stand down at the end of this year. But one report said Woodward's expected to leave in the summer rather than the end of the year. I presume all United fans were delighted with that news because obviously we've been critical of Ed Woodward for a long time. The main explanations is because our recruitment has been very, very poor. We've also overpaid for players and Woodward hasn't backed any managers that we've had since Ferguson retired. Ed Woodward has had a 16-year association with the club. Now, it recently said there's 5 candidates that Manchester United could look at to replace Woodward. It does say that Edwin van der Sar is the favourite to replace him, and I think it would be the right decision by the club to get Edwin van der Sar in because, one, Edwin van der Sar knows the club through thick and thin. He endured 6 years at Manchester United. He was with us from 2005 to 2011. Obviously, he was a goalkeeper. And Edwin van der Sar's got that experience because obviously he was the CEO. He's the CEO at Ajax. And I've got to credit him because he's done very, very well at Ajax. Don't forget Edwin van der Sar was linked with a technical director's role at Manchester United. So we need to get a new chairman in. Obviously, Woodward said earlier on this season that I believe Solskjaer is the right man to lead the club forward. He did released a statement earlier on this season saying that the progress by Solskjaer and the players this season is clear, so in that aspect Woodward is backing him. And even when we was enjoying them really bad periods, Woodward come out and showed his support for Ole Gunnar Solskjaer several times. Our board have got a soft stance on Ole, with him being a legend of the club. Now obviously, you know the news on the transfers. There's a lot of players that Manchester United are looking at now. I recently give you the news on Rafael Varane from Real Madrid. Now, Bill's Christian Fark has said that Chelsea are looking to sign Rafael Varane. So Chelsea are looking to hijack our move. Chelsea have recently been dealt a blow in their pursuit of Jude Bellingham. He says some clubs will wait until next year to get Rafael Varane. Because obviously next year, Rafael Varane will be available on a free transfer. Now, it recently said we'd been handed a boost in our pursuit of Rafael Varane because it said that Real Madrid are closing in on David Alaba. And it said that Rafael Varane prefers a move to Manchester United over PSG. Now, reports from Spain said earlier on this season that Man United were in advanced talks with Rafael Varane. And he said that his move to Man United is close. You know, Rafael Varane is ready to leave Real Madrid in the summer transfer window. Now, Eduardo Inda, who's a Spanish transfer expert, he said earlier on this season that Rafael Varane could be on his way to Man United in the summer. Because narratives are coming out earlier on this season saying that Real Madrid are prepared to sell Rafael Varane on one condition. He must inform Real Madrid on his decision to leave. But I'd certainly take Rafael Varane at Manchester United. The main explanations is because he's a world-class centre-half, he's highly experienced, and he'd go very well alongside Harry Maguire in our back line. Varane has got a good pedigree behind him as a player because he's won 18 major honours at Real Madrid and he's made over 300 appearances. Real Madrid paid just €10 million for him from Lens. But we've been looking at quite a few centre-halves. It said a few weeks ago that Solskjaer had drawn up a 6-man centre-back shortlist. You already know the news on Declan Rice from West Ham. You know the news on Haaland, Ousmane Dembele and Jadon Sancho. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is aware of how big the summer transfer window is going to be for himself and Manchester United in general. The summer transfer window will be Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's 5th transfer window as permanent Man United manager. So far, he's endured 4 transfer windows. Now, I'm expecting us to spend big in the summer transfer window. He said that earlier on this season that we'll spend big, but Solskjaer did mention that he wants to keep transfer dealings quiet. I'm expecting us to make around 3 or 4 signings, and I've identified the areas in the squad where we need to strengthen up. We need a striker, we need a right winger, we need a defensive midfielder, and we also need a centre-half. Solskjaer did warn earlier on this season that we may not do business as usual due to the pandemic, but he said he's interested in bringing in players that will be a perfect fit for the club. Solskjaer should get the backing he deserves in the summer transfer window because we've got John Murtough, he's our director of football, and we've got Darren Fletcher, he's our technical director. But we're going to focus on the incomings and the outgoings in the summer transfer window. Quite a few players are going to leave us in the summer transfer window now. It looks like Cavani's going to be leaving in the summer transfer window. Cavani recently put a transfer request in, and he held a meeting with Manchester United and he's asked to leave Man United to join Boca Juniors. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer recently said that Cavani will leave in the summer, but he said recently that Edison Cavani's future has not been decided 100%. Martial, I think a lot of United fans have want him to go in the summer transfer window. Obviously, he's out with injury at the moment. Looks like he's going to be out for the remainder of this season. Juan Mata, I'm also expecting us to offload him in the summer transfer window. Could offload Donny van der Beek because he doesn't get enough opportunities. Matic, I think we could also offload him. I've got my strong reservations about him, and he's not one of our first choice midfielders anyway. Pogba could still leave in the summer. I'm also expecting us to offload Phil Jones. Tuanzebe could offload him because he doesn't get an R11. Diego Dalot, I think we'll be looking to get rid of him permanently. He's out on loan with AC Milan at the moment. Romero, I think we'll offload him. And De Gea, we could sell him in the summer transfer window because I reckon now Dean Henderson is our number one. He's been in goal a lot in the last month or so. And Alex Telles, he's decided that he wants to leave Manchester United. So we'll sell players in the summer transfer window, we'll generate money, and it will help us with our rebuilding process. But there's a lot of players that will stay at Man United in the summer transfer window, and I reckon there's quite a few players that have got long-term futures at the club. But in regards to Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, like I've said, he is the best manager since Ferguson. But like I've said on my recent videos, I kind of sure he's not the long-term manager for Manchester United. And I presume a lot of United fans will agree with me on that aspect. But obviously our board think that Solskjaer is a long-term future because it said earlier on this season that Solskjaer agreed a new 3-year contract worth 30 million, and it said it's likely to be 2 years with an option of an extra one. Solskjaer has got just under a year left now on his current 3-year contract. I do have my concerns about Ole, like I've said before. My two biggest concerns about him is that he hasn't got a proven pedigree as a manager, that's one. And my other concern about him is that his decision making. Because in a lot of his games at Man United, he has been tactically naive. Solskjaer's been Manchester United manager now over 2 years. And, this is his current second full season. Next season he'll be his third full season. We appointed Solskjaer in December 2018 to replace Mourinho, and he's been permanent Man United manager since March 2019. The reason the club gave him the job permanently 2 years ago was reflecting how well he did as the interim manager. But a lot of United fans have criticised Solskjaer, and obviously they have been demanding him out of the football club. Obviously they've got main explanations why, but I presume, there's still a lot of United fans that are all in and believe that he needs more time at the club. Don't get me wrong, there is positives regarding Solskjaer. It's not all negative. The positives are, he has made good signings as Man United manager. He's spent almost £300 million at the club. Also got rid of a lot of the deadwood since he's come in. Last season, in his first full season, guided us to 3 semi-finals, got us qualification for the Champions League and got us a 3rd place finish. He's done quite well this season, quite a lot of aspects. Got us to the EFL Cup semi-final, got us to the FA Cup quarter-final, he's got us to the Europa League semi-final. Got a very good away record in the Premier League. I like the way as well that Solskjaer has promoted the youth, and he's beaten quite a few big name managers as Manchester United manager. Solskjaer knew when he'd taken over at Man United it was going to be a massive job, despite him knowing the club through thick and thin. He knew. Another good thing about Solskjaer as well is when he got appointed in as Manchester United manager, he did assure that everybody would get their chances to express themselves, including the young players. But in the last 8 years, nothing's really changed at Manchester United. We have been playing catch-up. We've had different managers with different philosophies. The three managers we've sacked since Ferguson was obviously David Moyes. We sacked him after 10 months. He's the worst manager we've ever had. We finished 7th under the David Moyes era, and that's the lowest we've finished in the Premier League era. It was obviously Ferguson's fault at that time for recommending David Moyes in, but the main explanation he did is because, they're both Scottish, and obviously Ferguson had a lot of time for Moyes. We sacked Louis van Gaal after 2 years, despite him winning the FA Cup, and we sacked Jose Mourinho after 2.5 years, despite him winning 3 trophies and getting second place, I think, which was his first season. So you can say Mourinho did enjoy one good season at Man United. We've overpaid for players in recent years. We spent over £1 billion on players in the last 8 years, and we've brought around 37 players in since Ferguson retired. I think we've made a lot of mistakes in the last 8 years, and that's why we haven't been as consistent as we'd like to have been. But no one's going to replicate what Sir Alex Ferguson did at the football club. So yeah. Obviously, Solskjaer is inheriting players from other managerial eras. So anyway, guys, that's everything to update you today. Drop your comments, likes below on the channel. If you do, consider subscribe as always, and take care. God bless. See you all again very, very soon.